Alright people, Dirty Drew's Kitchen, welcome back. It's winter 2018, got a little cough. I'm going to try not to cough too much on you. It's been a while, since 6-8 months ago. I don't know if this is season 4 or season 5, I don't know. I'll figure it out when I post it later tonight. I didn't go live because Facebook does not like my language. Fuck you, Facebook. Instagram is going to go right by you any day now. But, let's talk about balls. Meatballs to be exact. I got a request from my son to make Swedish meatballs. It's basically just your regular meatballs, but you put gravy on it, and you whip some sour cream into the gravy, and you cook it in that. They're usually really small. I don't like anything small. I go big. There's only a couple of things which I can't talk about that I like really small. But that's that. We're making meat, so we're gonna have some red wine throughout the night. Cheers, salud, nastrovia. Music in the background playing. I went with UB40. It's not a Jamaican meal, but it's their music, not mine. Also, you know, I love to hold this thing up. Got a lot of this, got a lot of that. Fuck, shit, piss, ass, titties. That's how we talk, that's how we do it here, that's why we're not live. So, in a minute I'll be back and we'll start off with the meat for your balls. Alright, let's start off with our meat, as we do. 80-20 ground beef. Stay away from the 85-15, the 90-10, the 95-5, because now the FDA says fats are good for you, they're okay. So, the only Swedish music I could come up with was ABBA and Ace of Base. It's not happening. Not here, not now, not ever. Not here. So, let's spice our meat. My son doesn't like onions, so I'm going to use onion powder, sneak that in on him. Eventually he's going to taste that. Signature move from Dirty Drew. Dump the whole fucking thing in there. I like to do a little shot of nutmeg. Give it a little kick. There. And garlic. Gotta have garlic. Powder. Because I'm too lazy. Very lazy. At this time on a Saturday night, February 3rd, 2018. To chop fresh garlic, and I'm not running to the store for it. Some black pepper, gotta have that, fresh ground, whatever kind of black pepper you like. You don't want to make it too spicy, do that to your taste. And I'm gonna get into later on about why the bouillon, we go to make our gravy. We're making gravy from pretty close to scratch with bouillon. A little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt. Sea salt, yes. Iodized table salt, no. Remember that. This is just the Italian herb blend. It's basil, oregano, and rosemary. Just a little bit in there. Alright? I can't close this thing. Stop and drink wine. Help me get my shit together. Alright, eggs. There's 3 pounds of beef here. I'm going to use 4 eggs. Because the holidays just passed, and don't fucking lie to me and say your clothes aren't tight on you like me. So we're going to omit, that's a foodie word, or skip the breadcrumbs. Put an extra egg in there. Help you bind it. I think that's all we're going to put in there for now. I don't want to bore you with my hands getting dirty, so we'll be back in a minute when we start rolling our balls. Sorry you didn't get to see me beat my meat for the last 5 minutes, but it's a meatloaf, it's a meatball, it's a burger, whatever the fuck you want to call it, but it has no breadcrumbs, and you know why, okay? From this point, Swedish meatballs traditionally are small. Getting back to what I said earlier, nope. Girls, you like this or you like this? So, you know the latter of the two. So you want to make your balls bigger. Like an Italian style big meatball. That's good, Merlot. All right, a couple more things I want to add to this. That's it. Worcestershire. It just goes good. I like a lot of Worcestershire. Made a meatloaf a couple weeks ago for work. You want to do your food prep for work on Sunday. That way you have all your food made for the week. You don't got to fuck around. This is a Sweet Baby Ray's. I shouldn't have said his name because he ain't paying me yet. Barbecue sauce, just a little drop. Not a fan of ketchup. This sweetens it up a little bit. And a little shot of, tiny shot of mustard. All these little things, they give you a nice flavor. Alright? So, I'm going to continue mixing this. And let's preset this oven so it doesn't take forever. 350 is good. I'm a fan of 375. Makes the outside of your balls nice and crisp. So we'll be back in a minute. Almost the size of a baseball because it's going to shrink. It's going to shrink 25% like all ground beef does. Okay? Squeeze it, get the air out of it. Okay? If you got to weigh your food like some of us do, got a scale right here. Zeroed out in ounces. Just this meatball alone. 3.5 ounces. That's a big meatball. So, without boring you, I'm going to fill these two jars with fill these two dishes with my balls. So I'm going to make all my balls, squeeze my balls, get the air out of my balls, and I'm going to fill these two glass trays with my balls. And then we'll come back before it's time to send our balls in the oven. Alright. This is where we're at. The timer just went off on the oven. It's up to 375. I have, how to count, 18 balls. They're a little bigger than Swedish meatballs. They're a little tinier than Italian meatballs. The red wine's kicking in, folks. Don't worry about it. That's what we do here. 350, I'm going to put those in. They're in. I'm going to ask my camera bitch to move up a little closer and watch what we're doing here. That's good. Thank you. So you can see, because of that time of year I mentioned, I bought this. I'll show the other brand. It's a sodium-free beef broth, which I have going over here, and I'm turning the heat on for that. The sodium-free beef broth. The reason why I got it, say that fast. Sodium-free beef broth. Sodium-free beef broth. Say that 5 times real fast. The reason why I got this is because they're using iodized table salt when they make shit. You don't want it. You want to add your own salt to stuff? Sea salt. I prefer pink Himalayan sea salt. So this is a beef broth. If you can see it. Can you see that from there? This is a beef broth that, to make it a little salty, anyways, you can add a healthy amount of pink Himalayan sea salt. Pink's my favorite color, by the way. That seems to be maybe a couple of tablespoons. That'll work. Okay. And a little more pepper. We had some pepper in our balls. A little more pepper here. And we always like garlic, extra garlic on everything. So a little garlic in there. We want to make a nice au jus beef broth. Okay. Garlic like a motherfucker. So this thing's gonna get moving. We're gonna move it to the back. We're gonna turn it on medium heat so it just cooks. Coming up to the front stage. How do you make a gravy? It's called roux. Butter and flour, oil and flour, meat, fat, and flour. Once again, the holidays have passed. We're using Crisco. Coconut oil. Crisco, fat in the cane. So, let's get this thing going. We're going to make our roux. I think it's spelled R-O-U-X, maybe an E on the end. Some French shit, I don't know. But I'm not a fan of cornstarch. I think it's cheating. If you're in a bind You're having a dinner party and you fucked up. Cornstarch can pull you out of that mess you're in. But for the most part, your standard roux, for the people who know, is flour and oil, flour and butter. We're going with coconut oil. Doesn't taste like anything. Okay, let's get this back off to the side. Now, I mentioned my book for the 100th time. Buy my book, get laid. So, now, flour, gluten, also the devil. I got some coconut flour here. We're going to come back in a minute when my coconut oil heats up. And we're going to whip it in there and make our roux. When the roux is hot and cooked, you don't just make a roux and then shut it off. You have to cook your roux. A lot of people don't realize that. You have to cook your roux at low temperature. Let it cook. And then we're going to add that to our au jus. We're going to make our beef gravy. We're going to pour the hot shit over our balls. We're going to wrap it up in some foil. And then we're going to wait till it's done. A couple other things we're going to add to it, but we'll talk about that when we come back. This is a New Year's Eve bottle that I never got to because we got too fucked up on iced tea and vodka. The coconut oil's hot. Get your coconut flour. Get your wire whip. The heat is on low because you want to cook it. You want to get it in there slowly. Did I just say that? You want to get it in there slowly. Alright, here's what we're doing. Alright, you want this to form like a paste. Okay? So even though you're having a very low heat, you're still cooking it. Let's stop there and see if we can whip this into a little paste. Okay. Let's whip this into a paste. It's a nice little paste. She's a nice little paste. Look at that. Now most people would stop right there with their roux. You want to keep going and let it cook. Turn it down low so you don't burn it. Let it cook a little more. Make sure your au jus is heating up really hot. It's got to be at a boiling point. When we whip that in, you want to thicken it up, but not a whole hell of a lot. Okay? So that's got to heat up to, I don't want to say a simmer, I don't want to say a boil. In food we say a lazy boil, which is more than a simmer, less than a boil. Lazy boil, remember that word. Okay, let this cook down for a little while. And we're going to come back when we actually make the gravy and put the last touches on this. I'm going to drink this whole fucking bottle of wine before the night is up. Because that's how we do here. Alright. Our balls are heating up nice in the oven. Bring it in a little bit. Zoom that in. Bring it in a little bit. I'll show you what I'm doing here. Not too far. Our au jus, beef broth, is actually boiling. And here's our cooked roux. Our coconut flour, our coconut oil. Make sure you still got that slight boil going on here. Can you zoom that in? Can you see a little bit? Not too close. I'm left-handed, so I gotta stand on this side, people. Can't do nothing right, I'm lefty. So, crank up the heat a little bit now. You gotta whip it quick. Whip it good. Or you're gonna end up with little flour balls in your gravy. You don't want that. You put it in a little at a time. Keep your heat up. Okay? A little bit at a time. And whip the shit out of it and you end up with flour balls. Are you zoomed in? Good. Okay, a little more. reason for cooking your roux is so you don't have that floury taste. I neglected to mention that earlier. Okay? Give it a couple minutes at a boil, not a crazy boil. We want to get every little bit as we can. That's funny, coconut oil doesn't smell like coconuts. Coconut flour don't smell like coconuts. Almond oil, almond flour, everything, it doesn't smell like it. But you know that what you're doing is good for you. So, want to cook it down a little bit like this. So it's cooking down. Needs to cook a little more, not too much. Now it's starting to smell good. Starting to cook down a little bit. It's going to thicken up a little bit as it goes. Because of that roux is going to thicken it up as it cooks. What makes... Zoom it out. Want to talk. Drinking and talk. Oh yeah, the music. I switched to freestyle. DJ Flash, Big Pat, thank you for the CD. Because it's Saturday night and the reggae was bringing me down. Maybe for a Sunday. But what makes Swedish meatball sauce Swedish meatball sauce is adding sour cream to your gravy. Like beef stroganoff. I mean beef stroganoff. That's what it does. So I'm gonna turn the heat down just a little bit. We're gonna add, it's gonna end up being about 1 cup. I happen to have white sour cream. I explained why earlier. About 1 cup of sour cream to about a little over a quart of gravy. Trash. I apologize for the battery going dead on my camcorder, but switched over to a new battery. Where I left off was what makes, I may be repeating myself, but I don't know where I left off at, but beef stroganoff, beef stroke me off, whatever you want to call it, is just sour cream folded into or whipped into au jus beef gravy. So my balls need a few more minutes in the oven. You're going to turn this down as low as you can, because that's ready to go. And we're going to come back in a few minutes. And then just put the finishing touch on what's going in the oven. And after that, we got to wait until it cooks. So we'll be right back. All right. Here's where we're at. We got a semi-thick, let's call it a stroganoff sauce, because that's what it is. It's gravy with sour cream folded into it. That's a Swedish meatball, in a nutshell. No matter what recipe you use, some recipes are going to tell you, cook the meatballs all the way through, cook your balls all the way through. Not a fan of that over here. I like my balls warm in the middle, but not cooked all the way, because I want them cooked all the way in the sauce so they absorb more of it. We good on the camera end? Yeah? So, here's where we're at on our balls. Let's get all the fat out of here. Right down the drain in the middle of winter. Guess whose drains are going to be clogged in the morning at 14 degrees outside. I'll run some hot water later. Alright. That's one container. That glove heated up. Is there a backup glove? No glove, no love. Give some glove love. Alright, we're going to drain some juice again. It's not juice, it's just fat that you don't want in there. I'm going to come to the top anyway. Alright. Shut the oven. Let's get down to business here. Let's get down with the get down, as my buddy Bob used to say. Let's get down with the get down. Get rid of this. Okay, that's all done. That's our semi-thick. Zoom in if you have to at your own leisure. 9 balls, 9 more 18 balls. That's where we're at. I'm gonna get a ladle. Home stretch. You know, I love to say home stretch. So, we're gonna lay this beef stroganoff-ish, Swedish meatball-ish sauce in here. I'm a lefty, I can't do nothing right. I'm over here. You know, I never fucking made these before, like ever, so I don't know. And we don't do recipes here. If you have knowledge of food and kitchen, any kind of culinary knowledge, you know, these meatballs are probably half cooked. Maybe 3/4. So, I'm going to fill them right to the top. This we can save later, the rest of the sauce, if you want to put it with some kind of pasta. Pasta's no good. Although Dream feels, you know what they say about that. All right. I'm going to throw a top on these because, ow, that top. I'm going to put a top on these before they go back in the oven because I don't want to burn the top. It's good freestyle on a Saturday night. Oh, my big tummy to help me. Alright, I'm not squeezing the tops on there until I put gloves on. And take a sip of wine. Silent morning. Oh, that stays. No 5-second rule here. It's actually a 10-second rule. It wasn't food. Alright. We got our foil. The oven's still at 375. Be careful. Be careful putting your wet and juicy balls back in the oven because they're filled to the top. It doesn't need much more time. I'm going to lower this to 350. It allows me to drink a little more while I'm doing my thing. I want to do some shout outs. It's shout out time when we're almost, you know, getting toward the home stretch. Dirty Drew's Kitchen shout outs. First of all, I love all of you, my dirty crew. Thanks for that name, Jen. Shout outs. Thank you to G Dogs, my camera bitch for the evening. All right. You hear my dog Schultzy barking outside. I didn't want him in the way tonight, so that's that. Mom, I miss you. My mom moved to Florida 6 months ago, like we all should when it's retirement time. My co-worker Obi, that's right, brother. My little buddy Nick, hope you're feeling better out in Oxford, Connecticut. An old shipmate of mine, I was on, you know, nuke submarines in the Navy. Stevie, the Fonz. Hope you feel better, buddy. Fight the big C, fight it strong. We're with you on it. And last but not least, my girl Stacy, right here. We're with you on this one. You're fighting the big C. And I think by the summer, we'll be having wine again together. All right? We'll be back in a few. Believe what I just did? I just gave the on-film thing with "Hello, Clarice." So, I forgot I told my camera bitch to start filming again, and I had something on my face, a mess. But this is it. We're done. It's done. Shut the oven off. We're bringing everything up. We're bringing everything up. Grand finale, as I always say. Final segment. This is it, man. Swedish meatballs, they're always an hors d'oeuvre. Fuck hors d'oeuvres, man. Take these giant balls and put them over your noodles. That didn't sound right either, but... Okay. Yeah? So you cook the meatballs half, 3/4, even though the recipe's going to tell you cook it all the way. You don't have to do that. As long as you cook it and all the fat comes out, you dump it down the drain, you grease up your pipes in the winter. Alright. And that's boiling too. You want to get in and zoom in on what we got here? For a couple seconds. Go back out now. Alright. My favorite part. Move this drink out of the way. My favorite part is eating. I don't have garnish. We're not garnishing today. Book got published a few years ago, Make Her Love You More. Check it out. Amazon, whatever you gotta do. It's not gonna sound right, but I'm gonna devour about half a dozen balls tonight. It ain't gonna sound right, don't hold it against me. I'll hold it against you. It's a high protein meal. We got eggs in here. We got beef, protein. The carbs aren't in here because there's no flour. It's coconut flour, like next to nothing. There's no breadcrumbs in here. So, the carbs aren't in here. You get a little older, you get a little smarter. You want to cook a little better. All right, let's zoom in on this. Back out. All the way out. Now. Somebody said last year, oh, you never show a picture of you eating the food. Rich the camera bitch, we miss you. A little shot out there. We'll get him back in here again. I'm going to burn the fuck out of my mouth. But before I do that, yep. I'm doing a selfie. I see you. Swedish meatballs. In closing, you can make a meal out of it. Like this. You can put it over some of your favorite pasta on your cheat day. You can make them half that size and use them as hors d'oeuvres. And that's, remember, the sauce for Swedish meatballs and the sauce for beef stroganoff. Same thing. It's delicious. I got salt in it. Not from iodized table salt from the fucking factory. I got it from pink Himalayan sea salt. Any sea salt will do. Buy your sodium-free stuff with your own salt and the salt that you want in your body. Okay? Thanks for watching. We're out. We'll see you next month. Told you I finished that bottle, motherfuckers.